Hey there, this is Bethany, your sports dietitian and mind body eating coach. This week, I wanted to chat a little bit about how do we create a performance plate salad, because oftentimes when we think of salad, we're thinking of all the health promoting benefits. Sometimes we feel as though, as an athlete, adding in or eating a salad for a meal is a really great option. But I want to emphasize the importance that we're getting a good balanced plate when we're creating a salad. So this all came to mind as I was building my salad down here in the corner, a picture of it last night, because really sometimes a salad can be simply a variety of veggies with a protein source and a dressing. And when we think about that performance plate, which I have highlighted down here, it's really important that we're getting protein, carbohydrate, fat, and the color as a component of that plate to really create a balanced meal that's going to help support your performance. And the biggest thing I see when we're creating salads as athletes is we're oftentimes missing this really key piece. So carbohydrates, and remember, carbohydrates are going to be our primary source of energy, especially at high intensity. So we have that fuel tank, which is our stored carbohydrate or our glycogen, but really important that we're replenishing that and we're getting in a good amount of carbohydrates to help fuel that activity. And also really important for recovery, like we've talked about in the timing series of what's important to include in recovery and why it's important. So very common to see a protein source. We want to make sure, especially if the salad is the main course of the meal, we want to pick a good source of protein, whether it's chicken, whether it's shrimp, whether it's tofu. I have a couple of ideas listed here. In terms of color, this is going to be our fruits and our vegetables. Maybe you enjoy, I know I love adding strawberries to my salad or blueberries to my salad. Apples are a really great addition to a fall salad with maybe some walnuts. So that kind of ties into the fat piece. So you'll notice that in terms of the performance plate, fat actually falls outside of the plate. And the reasoning behind this is it's not a large component of that plate, but it's really, really key and essential in terms of creating a balanced meal. So fat sources, I have some listed here. If you're doing a dressing with your salad, all of our oil-based dressings, whether it's olive oil, avocado oil, those are going to be adding in some great sources of fat in with your salad. But also things like avocado, or like my example, if you're adding in some apples and maybe some walnuts or some sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds. We're coming into that pumpkin season pretty soon. Doesn't feel like it here in Washington. It is roasty toasty today. But that's where the fat component comes in. That's a really important piece of making that balanced plate. And then the piece where we started that I want to emphasize the most is carbohydrates, right? This is so commonly missed in terms of building our performance plate salad. And you'll notice when we're using a moderate intensity performance plate, which if you're in season, depending on your goals, this is really our baseline plate. This is how every meal should be kind of built around the balance. And we want carbohydrates. I like to call this the pie plate. Protein's going to be about a quarter of our plate. And then carbohydrates are going to be taking up a good chunk of that other portion of the plate, split up with our color, our fruits and vegetables. So we need to make sure if we're building a salad, we're not missing our carbohydrate, because that's going to be so super important for performance. And it might be adding in some toast. Maybe it's adding in a dinner roll, some pita bread. It could be orzo or quinoa or farro. Also, things like adding in more of our starchy based vegetables. So sweet potatoes, corn, peas, those are great options. When we think about other sources of carbohydrate, and I added in some garbanzos to my salad last night, some garbanzo beans. So garbanzo beans here are falling under the protein category, but they're also going to fall under that carbohydrate category. So for any of our plant-based protein sources, edamame, lentils, hummus, garbanzos, any sort of bean, those are going to contain protein, but they're also going to contain some carbs and a little bit of fat as well. And so that's also going to add in carbohydrate along with our salad. So we don't want to miss that key component. Don't fall short in making that complete recovery plate. I know that when we think of salads, we think that they're very health promoting and beneficial for performance. But if we're missing that key component of carbohydrates, we're doing ourselves a disservice. So that is my message for this week. Go ahead and take a screenshot of this, utilize this as a resource moving forward of how you create a balanced performance salad. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope you have a fabulous week.